Hi guys. I was just talking to a neighbor. My neighbor's got a, I don't know, 96, 97, 98, that body style Tahoe 4-wheel drive. And his transmission went bad, right? And I can rebuild transmission, but hell, I wouldn't mess with my own transmission. It's 4-wheel drive. It's just a little more hassle. It got a freaking cross member, and you gotta pull the transfer case. You gotta remove. It's hard to get out. But anyway, it's possible. I wouldn't miss. Anyway, the point I'm making is this. He just said that he lost reverse. He said, well, go forward, but it wouldn't go backwards, right? So he takes it to Aamco. Aamco transmission tells him that they can't rebuild it. They got to put a new transmission in there, and they want to charge him $5,000. I told him, man, leave that damn place and find you somebody else. I said, a 4L60E is not that hard to rebuild, especially for a transmission shop. The funny thing is this, I gave him the number to Woodco Transmission in Hateville. They are the people that rebuilt my Trailblazer transmission, right? You know, it's been over 4 years, and except for this torque converter problem, the transmission should fine. But he looked it up and said they permanently closed. I'm like, damn. You know, that guy been around for probably over 20 years, you know. But whatever. I gave him the number to Norcross Transmission. They're the people who rebuilt my Cadillac transmission. And, you know, I've been giving my Cadillac transmission hell. And I got that car in, 2017? I think I got the transmission put in 2018. And, you know, it's 2025. I haven't driven the car in over a year, but the transmission was working perfect, right? And I told him, I said, man, find somebody to give you a price up front. A 4L60E is not that hard to rebuild. And somebody tell you that they ain't got to charge you $5,000. And when he said Aamco, I wasn't going to say anything about it because, you know, people like to bad mouth companies when they have bad experience. Okay, I've never had an experience with Aamco because I never went to them. With this Cadillac, first of all, Norcross Transmission told me it would be $2,850 to fix. Or was it $2,950? Anyway, it was $29. We'll just say under $3,000. Okay. He gave me this price up front, and I said, when you get the transmission out and take it apart, is this price gonna go up? He said, no, that price covered the full rebuild. Okay. I called Aamco. Aamco tells me they can't tell me what's wrong with the transmission until they get it apart. He can't give me a price until he get it apart. And I said, well, can you give me a ballpark of price? He told me, well, it could be as low as $1,800 and it could be as much as $4,000. You get what I'm saying here? Why the hell would I go to a place that can't give me a price, but I find a guy that give me a flat rate? That's the reason I don't mess with Aamco. I've heard a lot of other people had their transmission rebuilt at Aamco, and they wasn't happy, or the price was high. You know. Like I said, I'm not trying to rebuild anybody's transmission, because I got this thing in my damn way. You know, if I had a shop that could handle a lift and a Tahoe, I'd probably rebuild it. But I mean, I just get so dead. This is the reason why I hate mechanics, because they sit up and lie to people, and he tried to tell him that his cooling system is not up to par and he needs to upgrade his cooling system. I'm like, you know what? I just told him, man, that's crap. It's a bunch of bull stuff. And this is the reason why I can't stand technicians, because they sit up and lie to people. Just why you gotta lie to people? Because he want to make money. He figured this man got some money, and he figured he'd beat him out of $5,000. $5,000 to rebuild a 97 Tahoe transmission? Man, come on. Woodco charged me $1,850 to rebuild my Trailblazer. Man, I mean, this is the reason I can't stand technicians. I can't stand them. They always trying to get over on people who don't know any better. And then he was, you know, like my neighbor, he don't really know much about transmission. He just said, He just repeating what the guy told him. The guy told him that he shouldn't have kept driving it, and because he kept driving it, he made the transmission worse, and that's the reason why the price is so high. And I'm like, man, it's bull crap. A 4L60 is not that difficult to rebuild. I've rebuilt one myself. I rebuilt my Tahoe, and it went over 3 years. Okay, and it didn't go out. It didn't go out. It was just when I rebuilt it, it had a front pump that was leaking, and it had a 3/4 shift flare. Those are the two problems I had. But remember, this was the first time I had to rebuild the transmission. Right? I fixed the 3/4 third gear shift flare. I fixed that, but it was a year later when I fixed it, and the clutch was kind of worn out. So after 3 years, I went ahead and rebuilt the transmission. But just say if I had figured out sooner, it would have easily lasted past 3 years. And speaking of that, when I rebuilt my Tahoe transmission, I had a neighbor who had a Avalanche back when I lived in an apartment complex. He was bragging to me about he went to GM, he got GM to rebuild his transmission, and they charged him $3,500 or $3,300. He talking about it's getting done right. How about his transmission didn't last 6 months? I'm not joking. I see him one day, man, where your Avalanche? Oh man, I had to take it back to GM. For what? The transmission messed up. And I'm like, wait a minute, you got your transmission rebuilt at the GM dealership. I rebuilt mine myself. But whatever, man. If the bottom line is this: if you take your car, whatever car, it does not matter whether it's a 96 Tahoe or a 2015 Mercedes. If you go to a transmission shop, they should give you a flat rate, period. If they can't give you a flat rate, find somebody else. Dre, y'all have a good day.